People
Yeah.
say, oh, how could I break his arm like that?
Yeah.
For me at least. Okay, so how do I draw this? So I see that this landmass right here is a halfway. So that's going to be my half point. And then I've got this big diagonal. I've got this big diagonal coming up here. Look, that's half, that's a quarter, that's 3/4.
It's perfect for
So
that.
look at that. So
Yeah.
it starts about here and it goes up to about here. So there's a diagonal. I'm not drawing bumps and curves. I'm just drawing a diagonal. I don't care about this guy. I just see that that's this. There's a river coming down in here. Where is this guy coming? That's halfway right there. This is halfway. And that's coming down to about the middle of the page, talking about this. And you did a pretty good job drawing this, Edie. And that's going off about like that. And then I've got another hill coming off, coming down like this, and then doing a jog, coming down. That lets me say, okay, here's this. That just kind of follows right along. And then I've got this jog right here. So that's a C curve, that's a little C curve. And then I've got this. That's the rest of this guy. That's a C curve. It's a little bit flatter. And then going off into the distance. I made this jog right here. This is where I can adjust. I made this jog right here too far over, so I'm going to move it, this jog right there. Because that's where the river bends. And then I think I'm ready to go, except for the mountains. I've got one peak. This is a half, quarter, half, or 3/4. So where in relation is this one? There's my half, there's my quarter. It's about a little bit over here. So there's the top of that peak. Where is this one? It's there's my half and quarter. It's about right here. So, and about that far down. So that's my other peak. I'm just following this angle now. I'm following this C curve. I'm following this angle. I'm not trying to put any bumps in here or anything. I'm following that angle. And then I can go back and I can say, okay, there's that. I've got this rock sticking up here. This little, I'm just using that as a foundation. I've actually got this S curve coming down through here. And there's another peak. So I've kind of got everything figured out because I'm going to paint all the rest of it. I'll make it have a little bit more mountain to it. I've got this angle coming down from here. And that's really all I kind of need. I mean, I can clean that up, but, and I've got some bushes. The bigger bush. Some shadow. I don't need any of that stuff for now. Now I've got this reflection coming off of this mountain. It's kind of cool. I got a little reflection coming off of this mountain. So there's my drawing. So I'm going to paint this in grayscale first. Here, I'll just do it like this so you can see everything that. Now I'm trying to figure out the big shapes. It's got a lot of little moving parts in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna mix up some just my puddle of midtone.
The best part.
Yeah, this is the most fun part for me. So that sky is, I'm gonna paint the sky. I'm gonna paint the sky. Do I do that? Yeah, I'm gonna paint the sky midtone. Gonna go around the mountains for now. I know that's going to be darker, but for right now, I just want to do this to see to keep my lights. I know that's going to be darker, but I want to pick out my lights now. So I've got light on top of here. I'm going to make it. And I've got this snaky guy coming down here. And that's going to stay light. I've got a little bit of light over here. I've got a little bit of light down here. This is all midtone. That's all midtone. This is all midtone. I've got this as darker, so I've got this, again, this snaky guy. Do all this. Again, I'm trying to simplify it now. I don't care about putting in a bunch of little joggy stuff. So I've pretty much got my those lights. And that river and this are basically the same tone. I'm going to keep some light going on down through here. That's really midtone, midtone, reflection. I'm going to leave that like it is. So right now it looks pretty gray, but I see the light. I see the light from that mountain. So I got to let that dry. So, but that's pretty simplified, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Very.
So, well, this one is going to be heavy on the midtone side. So now I got to let this dry before I put the darks in. And when I put the darks in, it will all make sense. So that's my start. And I don't want to get any more complicated than this. You can see that that's similar, but it really is quite simplified.
Right.
Got all my necessary parts. You kind of just painted a tone over this whole sheet, except you've left this triangle, that one, that one, that one, that one.
Well,
It's kinda
I think my problem is that I like to double check when I'm drawing. Is this the right shape? Does it go this far? And you don't have to do that. You just take one look, zip, zip, zip.
No, you do have to do that. I just do it faster.
A whole lot faster.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm giving you these check marks. Here's halfway, here's a quarter, here's top, here's 3/4. You know, I can look at these and I can kind of find out where the top of that is. Okay, it's not very far down from the top, and it's not quite 3/4. It's between a half and 3/4. Okay, so I'm just going to make a dot. This one is not 3/4. It's about halfway between a quarter.
Now, I forget to do this stage. Look at making the marks in the margin.
And so you got to get the big shapes in
Yeah.
first. You know, that's the reason I just drew a triangle. I didn't draw the little particulars for that.
I'm
So
guesstimating, yeah. So
I've got a little dark there. I've got dark coming over here and then down. I've got dark on this side, and it comes down, it kind of sticks out, and then it goes off. So there's some of that. Got a little bit of dark over here. I've got dark right here. This guy,
yeah.
I'm just going to make that go across and then stick up a little bit. I gotta keep this pretty simple. Now I'll go do this guy. There's the dark side of that mountain. Here's my little joggy thing coming down. Tink, tink. That rock sticking up. Now I've got this shadow under here. Couple little guys back here. Side of this guy right there. Now I can put in this big dark shape. See, it's starting to have dimension now, huh? And I'm just looking at these shapes. I'm going to make this one pretty dark back here. Make this one darker, as I said, and then the other one lighter. So there's that guy. Now I've got that river back here. Gonna make that river darker. Already made that darker. I'm going to make a lot of this up here darker. The bushes. I'm going to make this, I said I was going to make this river darker. This guy picking up here is darker.
Just when I was thinking I could fix all my mistakes with white, you pulled out the white.
They're not, I'm just adding a little detail is what I'm doing. Oh. Okay, I feel much more comfortable starting this painting now because I've painted it once. So I'll wait till you get to this stage. Doesn't that
Yeah,
equate? Or,
It's amazing what the darks do.
that's pretty good. Good as I'm gonna get. So I have this blue sky. So I'm gonna put something on. I'm gonna use cerulean. And I'm gonna go around some stuff here. I don't care about the shadow side. I can go right through that. And I have some cerulean down here. Cerulean's a good color for this thing. Wipe a little bit of that off. Or I should say lift. Towels in my hand. Lift a little bit over here. There we go. Just enough, just something. Now I'm gonna mix up a warm color. And I'm gonna use yellow ochre, a little bit of burnt sienna in there, a little bit of red.
A little bit of what was the last thing you said?
Red. So now I can, a little bit too dark, but that was it. I'm not worried about the paint. I am not worried about the white at all. Because that I can capture with my LP. And add a little violet to that mix. Darken it up a little bit and make it a little bit more neutral. Big strokes, just blocking this in. I'm gonna go back with a little bit of a cobalt while this is still damp. Ultramarine and cobalt together. And just add a little bit. Especially ultramarine, especially down through here. I think that's a fairly decent start. Wet and wet. Yeah, this is one of those two color paintings. Burnt sienna and ultramarine. Gotta let this dry. Make a mistake if I don't let it dry. I'll have to go back and fix it. But I think that's a halfway decent start. I'm going by my value study. That's just my wet wash.
Excuse me.
Does this make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, it's much easier for me to start painting this one now that I've already painted that one. It's
Got it.
basically shapes. I'm going to use a milk consistency, and you could do this all day long, but I'm going to do this using my big brush, and then you can see that if you want to add a bunch of stuff, you can. So I'm going to start with some white paint. And then I'm going to start making some of my darks and use some ultramarine. There's some dark. I'm going to add some alizarin to that. It's a nice violet-y kind of color. Getting darker. I want it bluer. That's not as dark as I can go with this. But I'm gonna add a little bit of burnt umber to neutralize it just a little bit, bring it up there. That's pretty good. So to just test this out, here's my burst, and this is going to dry lighter, guaranteed. So there's my first swatch. Not too bad. I'm gonna add a little bit of that same color on here. Along this bank. See, I'm painting to these shapes that I've already established. I'm actually going to put a little bit of that here and here. I want to paint to shapes. So I'm going to paint over that. Kind of purpley back here. Following my shapes. I think that's a pretty good value. I'm going to add a little bit of more blue to that. There we go. Again, I'm going to make that kind of milk, a little bit of cream. Especially down here now. work, I think. Add a little bit more white to that texture. Cool. I'm gonna take some of that and I'm gonna go right along. I'm gonna clean out my brush, soften out this edge. There's my little glowy. Bring back those highlights there. Using big strokes here. Just trying to mix up my colors. Now I'm gonna mix up a batch of this ground color here. Using yellow ochre, I think, or raw sienna. You can tell. A little red in there, darken it up a little bit, a little orange, and some white. I want that to be more colorful. Yep, getting there. brush effect. All of it here. Tie the two together. Gonna mix a little green in there now. Yellow, green kind of stuff. Just a little bit. Still got a lot of orange in it. There. I'm gonna use some ultramarine and green because I have it on my palette. And alizarin to make a good dark. To make a good dark. It's my darkest one. little lighter. A little greener. Do a little bit more white, go back to my blue. I'm using cerulean because I want a little bit of green. I want it to be the right value. It's pretty blue. Soften out those edges. Who said you can't do that with gouache? And now I think I'm ready for my light. That's what I'm going to make it light.
You really brought the mountains out beautifully, Joe.
Yeah, they're going to get better with the light.
But still.
I haven't used any. I haven't used any white paint yet. The rest of the stuff I'm pretty much going to leave alone. I want a little hot spot here of this orange. Nice little. Cool. Okay, time for white or light. I'm not going to make it pure white. I'm going to make it a little bit of warmth. A little yellow in there. Almost. I could pick at this thing forever. So I'm going to stop. The opaque using that helped me on this painting, especially mountains, because I can carve. I'm actually sculpting, I feel like.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, let me go kind of close. And I'm getting more and more used to figuring out if the color is going to dry lighter or darker. It's usually, it's usually not as bright as I want. Yeah, so it's going to dry a little darker than I would like. But anyway, so there's Patagonia, kind of, sort of. You guys have any questions about this?
Mine is a disaster. Oh, well.
It can all be fixed with opaque.
It was
then
really helpful for me having painted it and then seeing
Yeah.
you do it and then changing some of what I did. So thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, sure. It's what I'm here for.
I guess I'll go. To Patagonia, I mean.
Yeah, you're gonna actually Selena took a a marathon boot camp down there.
Oh, well, I'm not.
Oh,
You're
they
not
they
going to
they
that.
actually had to run from camp to camp every day. There was a
Oh, how
different,
interesting. Well,
you'll have
How
to ask her
terrible.
about that. And if they didn't make it, they didn't make it.
oh, that's nice.
Did they
Yeah.
get picked up?
So anyway, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, maybe a few years ago, but not now.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So I have to get going early. I've got to get over to Many Meals. Thank you, Joe, so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bye,
Bye,
Edie. Take
bye,
care.
everybody. Happy Labor Day.
You too.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Yeah, I will not see you next week.
Right, right. Take
Yeah,
care,
I'll
everyone.
set not a reminder, but
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. If no one has any questions, I'm going to stop the recording.